So the three main principles of Zoroastrianism are good thought, good words, and good deeds. Now, there is no good... The good thought has the lowest level of moral value, because the true value is in actualization of the thought.
Yeah, action.
Yeah.
Test the claim.
So I will listen to you because I need you to educate me on this one. So far as we spoke, we don't find any disagreements or somehow, yeah. But here's now let's go back a little bit to Plato.
Yeah.
This is quite important. It connects with the light and the shadow. What you mentioned earlier about the glass. Now, by the way, I love philosophy, so forgive me if I'm going to be boring. Try not to.
It's going to probably be over my head, but I'll do my best.
So, the very story, the allegory of the cave, you probably know it, yeah? It speaks about, yeah. So, when man leaves to see the truth, so when he realizes it's just a play of shadows, he leaves. And this is when the intellect stops and they don't think anymore. And this is where something is very important, because Hinduism and Buddhism took that upon. And I believe that Zoroastrian religion somehow connected, but I need you to tell me where's the connection. And this man, out of his own will, chooses to go back. So he experienced the truth. He saw the truth. He saw the marvel of truth.
Right.
He left the cave. And look what happened in his heart. He decided to go to those who didn't know the truth and tell them about it.
Right.
So in Buddhism they call them bodhisattvas, for example.
Right.
Yeah? And in Hinduism, you understand?
Yeah.
So there's somebody who recognized the truth, and instead of remaining in a paradise, whatever, they go back for the mankind. So that man came back for the mankind. I think this is overlooked in the Western philosophy as far as the allegory of the cave. I think it's hugely important. Imagine, let's say, today's mentality is that one, what if you're going to win $1 million, pounds, whatever, boom, you're gone.
Right.
You're going to have your island, whatever else, you're gone. Yeah. And here's somebody who says, no, I'm going back to the world of the shadows.
And the Buddha could have just been in the cosmos, right?
That's right. And they come
we know he emerges from the forest as the enlightened one.
So let's go back to Zoroastrian.
Yeah. It's interesting that you use those two examples.
Which I know they're connected.
They're deeply connected.
I know it.
Not only are they connected spiritually, they are connected culturally, in the sense that, the relationship between Hinduism and Zoroastrianism is that they were born from the same ancestor in a way. Hinduism is the natural progression of the Vedic tradition.
Yeah.
Zoroastrianism is the critique of the pre-Vedic or proto-Vedic tradition. In the sense that, the figurehead, the pinnacle of Zarathustra's theology of his godhead is Ahura Mazda.
That's correct.
Ahura means Lord. Ahura is a cognate of the Hindu idea of, or the Sanskrit, Ashura. So Ahura and Ashura are linguistically the same thing.
Yeah.
But an Ashura in a Vedic context is a malevolent, it's not the gods. The gods are the devas. For Zarathustra, he took the devas and interpreted them as demonic entities. So the devas, the good gods of Hinduism today, are the demons, the Dev of Zarathustra.
Yeah.
So when I referred earlier to these capricious gods who cause an army to be victorious, or somebody to die of an illness, or harvest to be wiped out by a storm, he was talking about the devas.
Yes, I agree. Now, if you don't mind, we have to take it further, that not only Zarathustra, in my view, described him as such, he also, I think, also represented as an enslavement of the mankind.
Yes.
Through those entities. that actually we are. This is part of the structure that keeps us in a mortal state. Now,
Yeah, you mentioned this earlier. Something
ahead.
about the material versus the spiritual, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah. When I, in a sense, yeah. So there's a cosmic structure, and then tell me again from Zoroastrian point of view, in which we are here enslaved. Your mind, right now as we speak, you cannot see the spiritual world, and yet we know it exists, and yet we are confined to a decaying body. You know, we're confined to a physical senses. We're confined to only love those that are around us, really. So there's almost like almost like animal. You know, so
Yeah, but Zarathustra didn't describe it that way.
no, I'm not saying, go ahead.
He
Yeah.
acknowledged
Yeah.
the duality of our existence, which is on one side material, on the other side spiritual, the corporeal and the spiritual.
Yeah.
He didn't view there being some kind of dialectic between the two, where you're trying to escape one and favoring another one. He didn't see it that way.
It's not about escaping, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about overcoming it. But go ahead.
I acknowledge the concept of the overcoming of our humanity. Nietzsche developed this idea, but what Zarathustra was promoting was self-mastery.
Yes, individual.
Right.
As individual, yeah, sure.
Self-mastery. Not only in the spiritual sense, in terms of our decision-making, morality, and so on, but also physical. This became further developed in later Zoroastrian teachings. The idea that the physical body is prone to becoming impure. So in modern or in later Zoroastrian practice, for example, they would wear what's called the kustig, a belt.
Okay.
This belt symbolizes the divide between the impure and the pure.
Yeah.
However, I feel like this is too much of a ritualization, too much of a making a technical practice out of actually something which is much more benign. Yes, we have a tendency to become impure morally. This is really the crux of the matter. In terms of what your physical nature is, it's something that should be cared for, it's something that you should protect, but it's not inherently animalistic in anything I've read from Zarathustra himself. We are separated from that world by our cognitive abilities.
As a man, you can right now go to Japan. You find Japanese lady will fall in love with you. You can make family, gonna be children, and so on. Yeah. Then you can be pulled out and suddenly appear in Venezuela. Same thing may happen. Yeah. So and yet physical body is the same. Now here's the point I'm trying to make. In the essence of Ahura Mazda, I think you can only act in truth where your act will be the one which will reflect whom you're supposed to be, that reflects the benevolent spirit within you. So it's not about self-will, what we can do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because then I'm turning my body into an animal like.
Right.
What I'm self-will, I do what I want. Instead, we can use the same tool, physical body, and do something which then serves the purpose of divine.
Yes, okay, so the three main principles of Zoroastrianism are good thought, good words, and good deeds. Now, there is no the good thought has the lowest level of moral value, because the true value is in actualization of the thought.
Action.
Yeah, manifesting the thought. However, there is also no good deed which is not predicated on good intention. So, for example, I can drop my wallet and somebody can pick it up who's hungry, find some money in it, feed themselves. There's no moral value in there for me. It's an accident. However, if it was my intent to provide, to do something righteous, to help somebody, and then I act upon it, the moral value is there because I had the intention to do so. So there is no good deed without first the thought.
Yeah.
And
But then wouldn't that be a forethought?
yeah, Prometheus.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forethought. And then you fulfill it.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. If you know, it happens all the time, especially with parents. When they have a bad feeling, let's say the kid wants to go somewhere, they have a feeling he should stay home.
Mm-hmm.
And those parents who say, oh, maybe it's just me, and let it go, something happens. I knew he's supposed to stay or she's supposed to stay home, yeah?
Right.
Unlike those who say, he's staying home. Why?
Right.
You don't have to know why he's staying home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is reflected in action, will, yeah? But it's a specific will that we're talking about,
Right,
yeah?
right, right.
It's towards another.
Yeah.
Towards another. It's not towards oneself.
Right. Yes. What's the phrase? Self-interest is. Zarathustra talks about it over and over and over again. Those who are only self-interested are the ones who walk the evil path.
There we go.
So, of course, there is an emphasis put on not only one's personal well-being, but the well-being of the society. He was a reformer. He was a revolutionary.
Absolutely.
He was trying to fix his society.
Yeah.
He wasn't, but he was saying that it starts with the individual. Start thinking the right way.
That's right.
And then go out and share that with other people. Enact your righteous thinking. So it's easy to look back anachronistically. Like it's very obvious that one should think one is responsible for one's own actions.
Yeah.
It's very easy for us to look back and think that. It comes very naturally to us now. But in his time, these words had never been spoken before, as far as we know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, in some respects, he came before his time. And I think it's becoming more and more. This message is becoming more and more important as time goes by. Another aspect of this physical reality is the idea of a eschatological end of time, end of history. So going back to this worldview, this prevailing worldview when he lived, one of fatalism, there was also this cyclical view of time.
That's correct.
Just like amongst the Greeks, they had a golden age and then an ever-declining series of ages and then just start again and again. Again, he's the first that I'm aware of to have spoken about an impending end of history. At which time, in his words, there's something called the frashgard, the refreshing of the world.
Yeah.
The world would be consumed in molten metal, something like this, and brought back to its pure, perfected form. We see this in the idea of the resurrection of the flesh in many later religions. And I would argue, for example, that these ideas were transmitted into those traditions and then developed. And we have, it's clear in Judaism, in Christianity, you have the resurrection of the flesh. This is also a concept in Islam. So I feel very strongly that Zarathustra's teachings have made their way through history, and they are being preserved in slightly maybe modified forms, but they are still there. This idea of personal responsibility is still a big deal. Did you have any questions about the emanations that I referred to? Vohumana, Spentamenu?
Not at the moment. I would like to think it through.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll continue this conversation. Are you here? Going to be here again?
Yeah, I'm a regular here.
Me too.
What's your name?
Jacek.
Cyrus.
Cyrus.
Yes.
My middle name's Darius.
Oh, fantastic. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Likewise, yeah.
Thank you.
We'll continue conversation if you don't mind, because I'd like to take it. I don't want to just go fast like some fast moving train. I think we look at Ahriman in some sense.
Yeah.
I would like to go back to it regarding archetypal manifestations.
Yeah.
And also I would like to then look at the archetypal manifestations of the whole seven.
Yeah. These are archetypes. You could even argue they are the prototype for the archangel in the later Jewish or Christian And
I'm gonna do a little more of my own thinking through.
Yeah, please do.
Uh,
Take on board this idea where I talk about these archetypes being the prototype for archangels.
yeah.
If you look at the biblical narrative, there is a point in history, there is a point in the chronology
When
where
angels appear.
not only where the angels appear, where they are named for the first time.
Yeah, that's correct.
And when you look at who the person who named them was working for, you realize perhaps where the influence came from.
In my view, also, the three wise men were Zoroastrian priests.
Yeah, it's a strong possibility from the east. After
That's
all,
right.
Yeah.
So I was thinking through. Yeah.
Anytime, I'm here most weeks. So,
Good.
Yeah. Look,
I'll be here.
I'll be bringing my flag from now on. So look for my flag, and and you'll find me.
Yeah.